Today I'm going to talk about cutting horns on cattle and some of the stuff we use to do it and why we do it. And it's done mainly for a safety feature, for my safety and the cow's safety, because they know they have horns, they know how to use them, and just like anybody else, you give somebody a gun or a knife that has bad intentions, they use it to their advantage. And you get the right cow that knows she's got horns and how to use them, and they will be the boss, and they don't care about nothing. And I cut horns because if we didn't, I wouldn't be here today. I was damn near killed, and if the cow had horns, I probably would be dead. It was about 40 years ago, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and we were unloading wood in the sugar house where we made maple syrup. My dad and my uncle and another uncle of mine was up in the pasture cutting wood, and SMV sign, the multicolored triangle, fell off his trailer. So I thought, well, I'll go get it. And I don't remember whether I crawled on my hands and knees or just rolled underneath the fence to go get that flag. And we call them a fanny flag too. And I mean, I no more got underneath the fence, and a heifer had me pinned to the ground. I mean, she was like 700-800 pound heifer. I mean, I didn't even have a chance to roll. I mean, I don't even know if I was like on my stomach and she rolled me over or what, but I ended up being pinned to the ground on my back, my arms pinned to my chest. I was kicking her in the throat and it was doing no good. And I mean, my dad was less than 25 feet away from me. And I mean, this all happened in less than 15-20 seconds by the time he got there. I couldn't yell. I was already out of breath. I couldn't make a sound, nothing. And they got her chased off of me. And I got back out underneath the fence. And luckily I didn't break no ribs or anything. I mean, I just had to lay down in the house for a while to get my breath back and stuff. I didn't have to go to the doctor or anything. But if she had horns, I would have been gored. She would have punctured my chest or something, and I probably would not be here right now. So like I say, right now, that's the main reason why we cut horns. And like I say, for my safety and the other cow's safety, because they will push the meeker cows around. I mean, they will get punctures and stuff too. Usually they get along, but not all of them. And there are people out there that are against the dairy industry, animal, even beef farming and stuff, any commercial or regular farming practices. And these are the same people, you know, they'll say that milking cows is cruel, cutting horns is cruel, docking tails is cruel. Yet they're probably the same ones that are standing up and are all for this late-term abortion, killing a baby that's 8-9 months along, just born, and they think it's fine to jam a pair of scissors in the back of its skull and kill it. So, I mean, but there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. I mean, we used to just cut them, and that's all we did. But yeah, it's painful, but if you do it right, use the right tools, it is no different than going to get your wisdom teeth pulled or anything. I mean, watch a video on them doing a knee replacement. And yeah, the person's knocked out, but the doctor's there with a hammer and chisel and cutting out the bone and jerking around, and, you know, just watch them do some other surgeries, you know. But if it's done right, it's not as traumatic to the cow or calf as you think it is. And you know, some of the stuff we use now, this here is a burner. This will get up to 1200 degrees or something at least. And this works good on calves that are like, you know, 2, 3, 4 months old, when they just little buds. And you burn it, burn the ring around the base of the horn, and eventually it'll scab up and fall off. And then you get some bigger ones. Now these here, when you pull out on the handles, these cup in, you know, it's U-shaped, and it'll cup and it'll gouge it out a little bit. And it cuts out underneath the horn. Now when you get some bigger ones, many guys don't have these things, but this is a guillotine cutter. And they're quite big. I mean, this will cut, well, I'll probably cut a good 2 inches. I mean, my fist will fit in there, so something as big as my fist, and I'll lop that off. And then even if I use this pair, and I think I've done one in the last 5 years with this one. I probably did like 4 or 5 last year with this one, but most of them I can burn. But then you go back with this and you burn them, cauterize it, and it keeps them from bleeding and helps keep the infections down. I mean, you gotta watch for that too. But the main thing to do, I use, is this. Lidocaine. I don't know if it's similar or the same, but it's like Novocaine. This is no different than going to the dentist and getting teeth pulled. Now, there's a area in its temple, between its eye and its horn, and you inject that underneath it and give it, 15, the vet says 15, 30 seconds. I like to give them a couple minutes, but it numbs them up. And yes, they still, if you've had teeth pulled, you can still feel it and stuff, but it's nowhere near as bad. And a lot of them don't feel it. I mean, like I said, we used to cut them with this one, and 2-3 weeks later, you still couldn't barely touch the animal. But I've done this, and that night they're on feed. I mean, cutting them with that, they're on feed, and they like nothing ever happened really. They're still a little timid, but no, not anywhere as bad. Now this, you do need a prescription from the vet, and I don't know if they will give it out to do this or not. Because like I said, I used to have the vet come do this. And he's the one vet that did it. He actually was nice enough to instruct me how to do it, what to do, and stuff. Because I got tired of paying them. Just for the vet to come out here, I think they're up to $65 now just for them to pull in the yard. And it's I think the last time I had them here was like $185, if I remember right, an hour. So you spend 2 hours cutting horns. Right there's $360 just in time, plus the $65, plus this. This stuff ain't bad. I got this last year. I think it was like $12 for a bottle. This stuff is not bad at all. But most vets don't want to do it anymore. They say they lose money on large animals. They don't want to take the time. They'd rather be in the office with their little puppies and stuff. So, so that's one reason why they kind of showed me how to do it. But yeah, if it's done right, it can be done. I mean, but like I say, it is for the safety. I mean, I was damn near killed. And, I mean, it doesn't take a very big animal. I mean, a week-old calf is a hell of a lot stronger than a 4, 5, 6-year-old. And they can kick her around and stuff. I mean, I've had a cow break my nose before. Just swinging her head around and hit me in the face. And I'll tell that story sometime. But yeah, like I said, there are people out there that think it's cruelty to animals to do this. But it's like I say, it's for the safety. It's a safety factor. Yeah, I said, I mean, there's other items you can use. There's a caustic paste, almost like lye. It might actually be lye. And you get them calves when they're like a week old. You put that on the bud, and it burns, and they'll be thrashing their head around and stuff. And that might be one of the easier ways. I mean, I have never had much luck with using that stuff. You get some big ones where you use horn cutters like this one, and I've seen guys take a miter saw and saw them off. Well, I've never seen anybody actually do it. I've heard of guys doing it. There's a guy around here that actually does cutting horns on the side, and I've had people tell me he does that. I wouldn't do it that way. Now the vets, they have it's a razor wire. Really sharp wire, and they got special handles. You cut a piece to the length, and then you just go back and forth and saw your way. I mean, you could saw through a horn this size in like 15 seconds. And what that one actually does, it actually, with the friction, it actually I don't know if it's actually coated with something, but it kind of cauterizes as it cuts. You know, one vet we had, she showed cattle. So she was fussy about shaping heads out and stuff. If she didn't get them cut just right, she would take that wire and shave it and shape them out. But, and that's the other reason why I started doing this myself. The main vet over there, he is lousy at it. I think probably at least 75% of the ones he cut or burnt, even burning them, have grown back somewhat. Now the other two vets that used to be at the office, they're gone now, and he's got newer vets in there. They were good. They did a good job. But the main owner, I don't know what it is. Everyone that's got a horn, he cut. Put it that way. So, but yeah, like I said, I just thought, just make a little video here about that, because you know, people just don't realize that people make their decisions on emotions and not facts. And they say, I don't know what's going to go. I don't ever see this new Green Deal, but I don't know what they expect to do with all the cows if they ban meat or whatever their whole plan is. I mean, are they going to eradicate all the cows? I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. They believe in late-term abortion, but yeah. But like I say, people just got to wise up. I mean, there's ways you could do this. You know, they think it's cruel, but there's reasons why we do it. And you just got to use a little common sense and be a little courteous about doing it. So, but yeah, but like I say, if I didn't cut horns, I probably wouldn't be here today. So, well, thanks for watching. Leave comments, give it a thumbs up. Whatever you think it's worth. Yeah, like I say, I don't know if anybody actually, if you've seen my older video, there's one I did about the Jersey bull calf that was born 6 weeks early. And in that, I showed his brother. I never got him cut last year, and I would be using these on him. But there was a case. He knew he had horns, and he was learning how to use them. I mean, you put the water bucket in front of him, and that horn would be in your hand. He damn near pinched my hand a couple times there against the pipe. And it just got to the point. I mean, I can't afford to feed these animals for nothing. He ended up going to the auction. I mean, he was only 700 and a little over 700 pounds. I got $300 for him. But I say, I mean, it gets to the point, it's dangerous. I mean, even like now, I've raised all these cows. I walk out in the pasture stuff of them. I don't keep my back turned to them. I always keep an eye out the side of my corner of my head. Keep an eye on them, because you never know. A cow in heat, I've had them walk up behind me and try to jump me. You know, we had a cow one time we called Killer. You didn't go out in the pasture unless you had a club in your hand. I mean, she would actually stalk you. I don't know why we kept her as long as we did. She should have went down the road 2 or 3 years before we sent her, but yeah, I say animals are nothing to monkey with. No matter how calm and raising them you are, you never know what's going to happen. So, well, I'm going to end this here, and so thanks for watching.